Breaks, it's Bricklink here, and welcome to the first episode of Behind the Scenes of Building Mordor in LEGO. A lot of you requested a behind the scenes series of Building Mordor in LEGO in my premiere of episode 10, and that is why we're going to take a look at the behind the scenes right now. So if you are enjoying my LEGO The Lord of the Rings content, of course, go leave a thumbs up for today's video to support it. Go subscribe to Bricklink if you are new to my channel, and of course, ring that notification bell to stay updated on when I post any LEGO content. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the stuff that is laying on my table. So it is actually quite a mess over here. I didn't do anything for a couple of days, so that is why we're gonna clean up this table in front of me. As you can see, I got the black gate covered up because I want to keep it dust free, and that's really something I wish for, as I will. Of course, when I was building, I noticed some dust getting on top of the black gate, so I will started to just cover it up with this over here, as you can see. And we're actually going to go and remove that. So as you can see, the full black gate is intact and dust free. I'm quite happy with that. But you'll notice something different about the black gate in comparison to episode 10, which is the rock work over here. I actually destroyed it. I wasn't too happy with it eventually because I wanted to have a sort of more different look over here, and it wasn't really that accurate in my opinion anyways with the tower. And over here I got my custom tower, which I'm going to show in episode 11, so we're not going to take a look at that right now. But as you can see, I got all of my Lego orcs and such laying around. I'm going to actually set up a scene with that for episode 11 in just a second. But what I first of all got to do is clean this entire table up. And what I want to do in addition to that is, of course, get all of these pieces right here sort of sorted onto the table or even somewhere else, because my entire LEGO The Lord of the Rings shelf over here is just a mess. You can see a ton of pieces laying around everywhere. As you can see over here, we got some black bricks, some dark bluish gray bricks and such. We got a lot of these black plates over here in this bin right here. Some more orc accessories over here, so I gotta also put that somewhere else. I'm gonna just clean that up in a second. I got a lot more dark tan pieces over there. I believe some brown pieces as well in that bin over there. So a lot of pieces. And then over here, most of the parts over here are actually black, so that's quite useful. And also over here, this part is actually going to be used for the support of the rock work over here. I don't have a lot of pieces left, so I think I'm gonna will need to use all the pieces I can spare from my own Lego collection. But yeah, all of these pieces over here are mostly black, as you can see. I actually got a ton of these 2x4 black plates, so those are pretty useful when I'm going to work on Mount Doom, of course. That's really something I'm looking forward to. And over here we got a ton of other parts. We got some black arches and such. A couple of these, well, orange plates, as you can see, which are actually from the Lego SpongeBob over there. I got a second one of these sets, which I'm going to have to build in a couple of weeks, because I want to add that to my collection as well. But I don't have all the parts, so I need to order a lot more pieces on Bricklink. But I also got these pieces right here. These are the cheese slopes in black color, and some of these spikes, which I actually started using on the black gate right over here. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but those are used on the sides of the black gate. Let me take a look at a better angle. I'm using those over here, as you can see. That is the building technique. And then on the table, I got a ton of pieces laying around. It's just total chaos over here. I got these dark bluish gray plates. I got a ton of these bricks with the studs on the sides, which I also need to sort. And over here we got a ton of other pieces, which I still need to resort. In a couple of hours since I've started cleaning up my entire LEGO Building Mordor in LEGO table. And these pieces over here are actually all still laying here because I'm going to use these to build the rock work over here. And I got a ton of these pieces over here, which I'm going to use for the rock work. So I got these burr pieces over here, a ton more over there in that box right there. And then I also got these pieces, which I'm going to use for support. And you might be wondering, why are you using these pieces for support? Because I'm running out of pieces, and I don't have the time to order a lot of those. I actually got a ton of these support pieces over here as well. And I actually set up a lot of minifigures in addition to sorting, which I'm going to show you right now. So over here I got this hunting party finally being able to attack the army of Rohan over here. The rockwork over here already has been broken up, so if you're watching, well, if you've watched episode 11, you've already seen that. But I'm actually in the middle of building right now. I finished this section over here last night, so that's quite interesting, and it's pretty sturdy as well, so that's also pretty epic. I'm also going to work on this section over here in a second because I need to upload Building Mordor and LEGO episode 11 tonight, so that is quite exciting. But I got a ton of pieces here laying around, and it was actually a big mess. All those pieces over here, let me see here, light bluish gray pieces in this huge bin, some black pieces over there, and of course the dark bluish gray pieces over here. We're all laying around on this shelf over here. As you can see, it isn't really that big of a mess anymore. I mean, this is sort of temporarily laying over here, but we'll put it somewhere else. Actually, first of all, it was over here. So yeah, I actually cleaned this entire Helm's Deep section up, so that is also not really a mess anymore. And then over here, of course, with the Mines of Moria set over here, it is also not a mess anymore. And you may be wondering, what is this? Well, actually, I'm sort of using this to cover up my entire Blackgate MOC so it stays dust-free, because I noticed that there's some dust collecting on top of the Blackgate, and I wanted to prevent that. So now when I just, leave my Lego room, I put this on top of my Blackgate MOC, and that's how I actually keep it dust-free, because it's really not that easy to sort of, dust this entire MOC, because you can see I got a lot of landscaping, and the landscaping has a lot of different pieces used, and you're not going to be able to easily dust that with anything. I believe there are some sort of blow thingies out there, but I'm going to get one eventually to sort of dust my Lego a little bit better. But yeah, it was a mess, and I actually cleaned everything up. As you can see, the pieces are pretty much all sorted, and I also got this little place over here where I got some useful pieces for future LEGO The Lord of the Rings series. I got a lot of water over here, which I'm going to use for building Ariador in the future. We got some dark tan pieces and some brown pieces over there, which I actually might use for a brie MOC over here. That looks quite nice. You can see I got a ton of these brown pieces over here, so definitely useful for a brie MOC in the future. But yeah, I got a ton of pieces laying around here and some empty bins as well, which I can use for sorting. And speaking of my tower design over here, let me see, I actually built this off camera, so this is a little behind the scenes footage. This sort of, I sort of wanted to have a better tower instead of just that over there, which I created. As you can see, I wanted to have some spikes and some detailing with the stones that you could see in the movie. So on the bottom, there's going to be some stones and some spikes over here going all the way up. And then, of course, I wanted to sort of go inwards and have a thinner tower over here. So the bottom of the tower is pretty thick, but the top is going to be really thin, and that's what you could see in of course, the movies of the battle at the Black Gate itself in the movies. So that really is something I want to work towards, and I'm also going to need to order a lot more parts. I actually created a lot of shopping carts on Bricklink, but I'm going to show you that in a second. But yeah, I'm actually working on the rock work as of this moment. As you can see, I got a ton of rock work done over here, and also this little bit right here. I actually wanted to redo the rock work because I wasn't really happy with it. It wasn't accurate, and of course I couldn't fit my new tower design over here onto that. And I actually also need to sort of make the wall a little bit longer, so it needs to be, a little bit longer, 3 studs longer over here. As you can see, that is something I got to work on as well, but I don't know if I'm going to do that on camera. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoy watching me talk about my MOC, and of course showing you all of the behind the scenes footage over here. I'm actually going to continue working on the rock work over here, and of course wrap up episode 11 after that. But I'm actually just building the rock work, sort of chilling, just grabbing some pieces. I got a lot of these 1x2 slopes over here laying around. I'm actually using those a lot. And then over here I got my other pieces, so I can just stand here, have my camera over there. Yes, I'm using my phone, and I'm actually sort of putting it against that hammer so it stays in place. That's just a little cheap way of, making videos. And then over here, I got this big, well, tower over here, so wall piece, so I can just have my camera over there and film while I'm just building over here. So I'm just standing like this, and I'm sort of, well, trying to, well, put a lot of slopes on here, just building the rock work. And I'm actually watching The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring during building. I've never watched the theatrical version, actually. I've been just, well, raised with the extended edition of The Lord of the Rings, so I never watched any of the theatrical movies. I'm actually going to continue working on the rock work to create an epic time-lapse for episode 11 of Building Mordor in LEGO. And I'm going to go work on the rock work, make it sort of, well, build this section over here, make sure it sort of, well, slopes into the rock work over here. I want to have a sort of slope that still this area over here is going to be covered up with these panels like this. And also over here, that's going to be covered up with those panels. So don't worry, the detail is on its way. But I'm going to have it sort of, I'm really going to detail this area over here with those slopes, as you can see. I'm not going to work on this yet because I need to know what the towers are going to look like. I am going to, however, sort of place a couple of plates over here so I can definitely put some tiles on top where I can have the tower over here just sit in place as a little modular piece. And then, of course, I'm going to detail this area, make sure this corner piece really looks smooth, and then, of course, that it slopes into the top of the rock work in the corner right here. So I'm going to go build the rock work over here and check in on you when I finished it. So I finished building the rock work yesterday, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I uploaded episode 11 of Building Mordor in LEGO yesterday as well. So I got all of that done, and right now we're actually going to focus on some, well, just epic and exclusive behind the scenes content over here. So as you can see, I got some pieces readied for building the rock work on that side of the black gate as well. So I got a ton of these burp pieces readied with the 2x6 plates over here. Got a ton of those laying around in both dark bluish gray and light bluish gray color over here. And I'm actually not going to use these sort of Technic plates ever, so I'm just going to, will use them for the rock work over here. So that's quite useful. But if I want to, well, have some of these burp pieces, well, positioned like this, I'm going to need to use the, of course, dark bluish gray plate over here underneath, and that is why I sort of am going to use those. But yeah, actually, it's looking quite clean over here. As you can see, you got a lot of, well, pieces just being sorted in the bins, and I also got a lot of pieces laying around over here, and these are just actually, well, going to stay here because I'm going to need these for, well, finishing the rock work a bit over here. And of course, I got the tower design right over here, which I'm also going to work on. So that's definitely some epic stuff, which I'm going to work on. And I'm also quite happy with how the rock work turned out in the sort of, well, height. As you can see over here, I wasn't really sure if the, well, the rock work was going to reach the appropriate height without support. As you can see, this entire piece, if I'm just going to remove the big wall piece of the black gate, has no support under it, and it's sturdy. It's really sturdy. As you can see, you can just push on it and it won't budge. So that's really something, well, great of burp pieces. They just are really sturdy, and if you will connect enough pieces on top of them, they will just stay in place together. Of course, if I'm gonna build burp pieces till around this height over here, I am gonna need a lot more supporting pieces underneath. But I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I mean, I used most of my supporting pieces underneath this, well, piece right here where I got all the plates supporting the tower. And I'm actually going to put a lot more tiles underneath over here. Actually got these 2x2 black tiles, which I'm definitely going to probably use for that over here underneath, so I don't have any problems with the studs. Because when I was placing the tower on top of this, as you can see over here, it was quite hard to do with this sort of plate system. So I'm going to have to work something out with those, well, of course, tiles and studs and such to make it sort of modular. I definitely think that going modular for the towers is the way to go, because I can remove the, well, the middle gates over here. I can remove the big wall pieces, and if I could remove the top towers on top of that, that would be a lot easier for, well, putting this entire mock in my storage underneath the table over here. As you can see, got a ton of space. I'm gonna put the, well, the Battle at the Blackgate muck in boxes underneath there when I'm going to work on Minas Morgul, and of course Barad-dûr, the Tower of Sauron with the Great Eye. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to, but of course we got to work on the Black Gate right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting to learn so many new building techniques, which I never thought I would learn. I mean, back in the day, I was watching LEGO YouTubers building, bigger walls for Helm's Deep, and I didn't think I could do that. Well, I did that, and now I'm working on the Battle at the Black Gate over here. So I'm definitely excited, and I'm so thankful that I can, go and build everything over here in this series. I mean, it's great, and I got a ton of work left to do for the Battle at the Black Gate over here, but I'm definitely looking forward to building a lot more. But yeah, building requires pieces. Now I got a lot of rockwork pieces over here. As you can see, these 1x2 slopes over here. I actually also got these 2x2 slopes. I don't know if I'm gonna use them, but if you have any techniques for the 2x2 slopes, just let me know in the comment section down below. And over here as well, I got my rock pieces, but I'm sort of running out already. I mean, I still got to build that big rock work piece right over there and finish this part right here till it looks sort of good enough to, leave it there until I need to get more rock work pieces. But I'm definitely going to order a couple of more slopes. Definitely these 2x1 height 3 slopes. That's also really helpful. I'm not using a lot of these pieces right here, these 1x2 height 3 inverted slopes. I don't really use them a lot. As you can see in my rock work, I don't really use them as often as the other slopes. I don't really need a lot of those, because I want to have the effect of a mountain, and sometimes they sort of make the pieces really stand out, and I don't really want that, because this right here sort of looks boring in my opinion. I know that the entire product over here really looks great, but if you sort of zoom in on this piece right here, it sort of looks strange in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But overall, I'm really happy with the rock work so far, but I gotta order a lot of pieces. I mean, I also gotta order a lot of pieces for the towers, as you can see over here, which we're gonna take a look at right now, actually. So I got this bin right over here, and we're gonna take it to my laptop over here. So let me see here inside. I got enough of these pieces to sort of put the plates on for the towers. But what I really need is these 1x4 pieces in black color, so these bricks. And I'm also gonna buy a lot more of these 2x4 bricks in black color. I don't know if this would be a great option to fill up the space between the top of the tower, but because they're not really that sturdy in comparison to these pieces right here. And I'm also gonna need to buy a lot more of these curved pieces, but in black color. I don't want them to be in dark bluish gray or light bluish gray. I want them to be in black. So I think I'm gonna use these for some other mocks in the future, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe some, of course, these light bluish gray pieces might be handy for a Helm's Deep mock or something. So that's really something to look forward to, because I'm definitely gonna build a bigger Helm's Deep in the future, maybe even in 2022 if I'm up to it. But that depends on how fast we can finish building Mordor and Lego together. And of course, these pieces I might use for something else. I don't know for what I could use this. Maybe something like, what would that be? No idea, actually. I gotta brainstorm to use those dark bluish gray pieces, but they're always handy for, of course, making sure that, of course, over there, as you can see, the black gate can open. And I'm actually debating if I should remove these pieces and switch them up with some black pieces, because that looks a lot better. And of course, these pieces right here, I'm actually also considering removing those and replacing them with black pieces to sort of have the entire black gate look as black as possible, because you could see that in the movie and there weren't any gray pieces of the black gate. It was sort of a rusty metal, but I think it would really look good if the entire black gate was black. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you want me to do with those dark bluish gray pieces over there. Should I replace them with black pieces, or should I just keep them there for the difference in the black gate? Let me know. I personally vote for, well, using black pieces, and I'm maybe gonna do that. I don't know. It all depends on you. But yeah, going back to the pieces I need, I'm gonna need a lot of these 1x4 bricks over here, and I actually got my Bricklink wanted list over here. This is actually where I get all of my parts, and you can you just need to sign up. You can get to your wanted list right over here. So this is my Mordor wanted list. I'm actually gonna need a lot of these claws over here. I actually got 50, but I don't think I'm gonna need 50, so you can just really easily edit that. So edit that to, let's say I need well, for now we're just gonna say 32, and you click enter, and then it's saved. So you want that, and if you have any of these pieces, you can also fill that in on Bricklink. So that's pretty handy. I'm gonna need a lot of these smaller claws over here in black color, of course, for the towers, and I'm gonna order 500 of those. Actually gonna need a couple more, I calculated yesterday, so we're gonna do 550 just to be sure. And over here I got these modified bricks. I'm definitely gonna get 100 just to be safe for building the towers. And then over here I got the modified brick with the 1x4 studs on the side. I don't know if I'm gonna need to order a lot more of those, so I'm just gonna edit this to, let's say, 50 or something. That's definitely something handy to have. And this is what I was talking about with the General Grievous wheel bike. This is the hinge plate 3x12 with the angled side. And this piece really looks great. I don't know, let me see here if I can take a look at the piece right here. So this is the piece right here, as you can see, and I think it would look really good on the top of the black gate to sort of have those spikes on top. Actually 8 spikes on top, so I gotta get this times 16. That's definitely something, well, epic. But yeah, I'm really hyped for building all of that. But over here, as you can see, I got some more pieces. I'm gonna need these plates to put on my jumper plates, 1x2 jumper plates, so I can add these spikes over there on my tower design. I got a bunch of these 4x10 black plates, which I'm gonna need for the towers in addition to everything else as well. And then I'm gonna also need these round 4x8 half plates. I'm gonna order 20 just to be safe. And then of course I'm gonna need these 2x4 dark bluish gray pieces, just, well, for supporting and of course building the rock work. I'm gonna just order around 500. And then of course I got a lot of these dark bluish gray plates, which I'm gonna need. So I got, well, actually 150, but if it isn't too pricey, I'm actually gonna bump that up to 300 just to be sure that I have enough plates to, well, cover my entire landscaping over here in the back, so I can have my entire orc army marching through the black gate. And I also want to have a lot more, well, sort of stuff behind the black gate to, well, set up a lot of epic scenes with my orcs. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting more Lego to build all of that. And I'm also gonna, of course, need to use those, well, base plates over here, but for now I'm actually using them over here because I sometimes will record some whole videos, or of course my army videos for Star Wars or the Lego Lord of the Rings. Maybe in December I'll release a lot of orc armies. But yeah, I got a ton of pieces which I'm gonna need, and I'm also gonna, well, edit this off camera and show you a lot of pieces in my order in the next episode of Building Mordor Behind the Scenes, because I'm just gonna go and, well, wrap this episode of Building Mordor Behind the Scenes up. If you did enjoy watching this video, of course, go leave a thumbs up to support Building Mordor and Lego Behind the Scenes. Go subscribe to Bricklink if you are new to my channel, and of course, ring that notification bell to stay updated when I upload any videos. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Building Mordor and Lego Behind the Scenes.
It's in the air like a blazing flare. Cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy sea.